How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine.
Hello.
Uh, Hello.
Okay, good. So we're recording right now. All right. So let's go. So we were practicing in previous classes how to use the past, right? But we forgot to mention that in English there are different uses of the past. You know that, for example, we have simple past, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect. So we're going to discuss all of this, yeah? And we are going to practice first. We have an exercise here on Kahoot, and the topic is narrative tenses. Okay, narrative tenses. So we're going to check here an exercise that we have on Kahoot. So in order to start, please join us here, and we're going to explain these exercises a little bit. Yeah. So go ahead and please join us. Join this class. Okay, 1 second. So here, I will send you the link, and you can scan the code. Okay, now only Samantha, please join us in this activity. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Let's start. Okay, please, and choose. I mean, you need to write the option you think is correct. It says, we enjoy our meal on the train as eat across the beautiful countryside. So, right, disfrutamos nuestra comida en el tren a medida que el hermoso, uh, la hermosa zona rural. The countryside is the opposite to the city, right? So, well, in this case, the verb go, and we had to say was going. Okay, let's check. Maybe this one was a little bit difficult, right? Okay, here. And it was a real surprise because she no idea that they a birthday party for her. So try to choose the option that is more logic to you, more logical. Okay, so the correct option in this case is it was a real surprise because she had no idea that they had organized a party for her. Okay, so if I say because she had no idea, what tense are we using? Is this simple past, the past continuous, the past perfect, present perfect? What do you think is this? What do you think, guys? Maybe you can tell me, please, Samantha? She had no idea. What is that? What tense are we talking about?
Maybe past continuous.
Past continuous?
Yeah,
Mm,
maybe.
not really. The past continuous is ing. Yeah. For example, she was, in this case, she was having, for example. This is the past continuous. The past continuous, you are using ing. So no, it's not past continuous. What do you think, Paula? When I say she have no idea, what is this?
Past simple.
Exactly, is the simple past. So, and then the next part, it says, and that they had organized, had organized a birthday party for her. So what do you think is had organized? Luigi, what do you think is had organized?
Eh, had organized es haber estado organizado.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in this case, it means había organizado. Yeah, this is called the past perfect. So, and let's do something, okay? We're going to, um, okay, we're going to explain what is the difference between the simple past, the past continuous. Maybe you don't recognize them if I tell you by the names, right? Quizá no lo reconocen si les digo así por el nombre de estos tiempos, ¿ya? So in English we have three very important tenses. Cuando yo digo en inglés un tense es un tiempo, ¿no? Sabemos que tiempo se dice time, pero cuando yo hablo de gramática, you say tense. So you have the present tense, you have the past tense, and you have the future tense. Okay, so the past tense, what is the past tense? We have different kinds of past tense. Aquí pueden ver todos los tipos de pasado que tengo. I have the simple past, the past continuous, the past perfect, and the past perfect continuous. So guys, we're going to explain what is it about. Vamos a aprender de qué se trata ya, cada uno de estos. What do you need to understand when you learn a grammar topic for the first time? Well, first you need to understand the function, yeah? Tenemos que entender la función. You need to understand the function. And the other thing you need to understand is the structure. The structure. Okay, so the function is what is it for? Okay, so let's try to explain the simple past. Okay, I want all of you to focus on the simple past. So please look at these examples and let's see if you can tell me what is the function of the simple past. ¿Para qué nos sirve el pasado simple? What is the simple past? What do you think? What is the simple past? Paola, what is the simple past?
Em, es como para hablar de, como de acciones que ya terminaron.
Exactly. So you use the simple past to talk about finished activities in the past. Finish events or activities. Yeah, finished events or activities. So because yes, of course, simple past, the meaning is the past, ¿no? Pasado simplemente nos referimos al pasado, pero también el pasado continuo, yeah. So what we mean here is finished events or activities. Can you please help me, Samantha, to read the three examples that we have for the simple past? Affirmative, negative, and interrogative, please.
Affirmative, she looked stunning on that night dress yesterday. Negative, she didn't look stunning on that night dress last week. Interrogative, did she look stunning on that night dress 2 years ago?
Okay. And so now the question is for you. What do you think is the meaning of stunning?
It's like charming or shining or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's stunning is like impressive, beautiful. It's another way of saying it. And so the simple past it means that it's a completed action, yeah? And one other thing that you can differentiate the simple past is because we have this. Pay attention here. It says, she looked stunning on that night dress yesterday. Yesterday. Last week, 2 years ago. So what is this? This is a definite time in the past. We know when these things happened. Let's check another example. The present perfect. When I say, I have um I have worked here. I don't know. I have visited Italy before. I have visited Italy before. Pay attention to the sentence, I have visited Italy before. So when did I visit Italy? What do you think, Paula? In the present perfect, in this sentence, I have visited Italy before. When did we visit Italy? What do you think?
What is the question?
Okay, imagine the sentence that I'm showing in the screen. I have visited Italy before. When did I visit Italy? Do I know or I don't know?
You don't know.
Exactly. Well, maybe I know, but I'm not telling you this information in this sentence, right? This is the present perfect. Okay, guys? So, the present perfect, I use it to talk about my experiences. For example, imagine that I'm telling you about my last vacation. The last vacation, for example, the last time I went to Italy, right? I have been to Venice. Yeah. Okay. But if I'm telling you the exact time, when you tell me the precise time, I need to use and I need to say I visited or I was in Italy 2 years ago. So what is the difference between this sentence, the present perfect, and this other sentence, the simple past? Do you see? The difference is that in the simple past, you know when or you're stating, estás declarando, you're stating when you visited or when you completed the action, cuando completaste la acción. So this is important when you are using the narrative tenses. The purpose of this next classes is that you're able to talk about the experiences, about your curriculum, right? When you work and you have a job interview, cuando tiene una entrevista de trabajo, necesitamos hablar de nuestro curriculum, right? We need to talk about the past. So, and that's where we need to use this topic, los narrative tenses. Hay muchas formas de utilizar el pasado en inglés. We have the simple past, the present perfect, the past continuous, the past perfect, and the past perfect continuous. Hay muchas formas. But you need to be able to know which ones to use. Yeah. So this is the difference, guys, between this. I have been to Venice. I have been to Italy. Yeah, let's say Italy. So it's the same. I'm not telling you when. I'm just telling you a random experience. I'm telling you about my last vacation, I don't know. But if I'm telling you the precise time, so I'm going to use the simple past. That is one of the differences, right? So let's go back to Kahoot. And on Kahoot, you see that it says, it was a real surprise because she had no idea that they had um that they had organized. Yeah. So when I say had organized, had in this case means había. Yeah. Had organized. Había organizado. Yeah. So if I say only I had friends, yo tenía amigos, but if I say I had danced, I had lived, eso significa había bailado, había vivido, ¿ya? And this topic is called the past perfect, okay? And we're going to explain when we use it. Now we are going to practice, we're going to check the next exercise, okay? Okay, it says, they had been, okay, once again, okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see the Kahoot?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Just let me do something. Here we go again. Okay, so here you have the past perfect continuous and the simple past. They had been traveling for only a few minutes when they had a flat tire. Luigi, could you try to translate to Spanish this sentence?
Ellos habían estado viajando por solo pocos minutos cuando ellos tuvieron flat. I don't remember flat.
Okay, flat tire, and it's when the car, the wheel, we have the wheel, and this black rubber thing is the tire. A flat tire sería entonces una llanta sin aire, no sé cómo le digan en su país, algunos le dicen una llanta ponchada. How do you say it? Una
Eh,
llanta sin aire, how do you say in your country?
Llanta pinchada, igual.
Pinchada, ponchada, yes. Yes, that's a flat tire.
O sea, flat
Okay.
no es llanta, pero se le dice a la rueda pinchada. A
Rueda
flat.
pinchada. Okay, you say rueda. Okay. And Samantha and Paula, how do you say? Do you say rueda or do you say llanta? Emponchada or pinchada? What do you say?
We say both.
Okay, good. So, perfect. So here you have the past perfect continuous, yes? So, Luigi, you translated correctly, yes? Is ellos habían estado viajando, yeah? This is past perfect continuous. So, now I would like to explain you the difference between the simple past, que ya leímos, y el pasado continuo, yes? The past continuous. So, now can I ask you, Paula, could you help me read all the examples, the affirmative, the negative, and the interrogative for the past continuous, please?
Affirmative. He was looking forward to seeing you soon. Negative. He wasn't looking forward to seeing you soon. Interrogative. Was he looking forward to seeing you soon?
Okay, and we have here a phrasal verb. And look forward to means tener muchas ganas de. He was looking forward to seeing you soon. Él tenía muchas ganas de verte. Estaba teniendo muchas ganas, ¿ya? So, when I use the past continuous and I say, for example, instead of saying, I danced, yeah? I danced means that I finished the activity, yeah? Bailé, punto, terminé la actividad. I went home after dancing. But if I say I was dancing, ¿qué significa I was dancing? I was dancing in English means an activity that was interrupted. So it means that I didn't finish dancing. Por alguna razón no terminé de bailar. Yeah. It was an ongoing activity or event in the past. Una actividad past. Una actividad en progreso en el pasado. Yeah. So, when you use the past continuous, it usually means that you didn't finish the activity, or sometimes it means that you have simultaneous activities. For example, I was drinking wine while my friend was talking to that girl. Yeah. Imagine that you're in a party, right? So, well, in this case, maybe not a girl, maybe a boy, or well, I don't know. Anyway, I was drinking wine while my friend was talking to that girl, to that boy. Yeah. So in this case, we have two simultaneous activities. Do you understand? Yes, two simultaneous activities. Okay. But I also want you to notice something because every tense in English is characteristic because it has something that is called an auxiliary verb, yeah? An auxiliary verb. We always have auxiliary verbs in English. The simple present has the auxiliary verb. El presente simple tiene su verbo auxiliar que sería do and does, right? In simple present. In the past, in the simple past, what is the auxiliary verb? What is the auxiliary verb, guys, for the simple past? Luigi, what do you think is the auxiliary verb for the simple past? Paola, what do you think is the auxiliary verb for the simple past?
Did?
Did, exactly. So every tense has his auxiliary verb, yeah? Simple present, does or do. Simple past, did. The future, will, yes? And the past continuous has another auxiliary verb that is the verb to be in past. Yeah, in this case, was and were. And you also need to use the ing. Yeah, I was drinking, I was playing, I was working, they were flying, whatever. Yeah, you need, this is the auxiliary verb for the simple, for the past continuous. And just remember that when you ask a question, so you always write the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence. Yeah. Did she look stunning on that night just 2 years ago? Was he looking forward to seeing you soon? Remember that when we ask questions in English, they need to have the auxiliary verb at the beginning. Ok, ya explicamos entonces el pasado continuo, the past continuous. Now, what is the past perfect? Yeah, so the past perfect is something that happened in the past before another event. This is something crazy because we call it the past of another past. El pasado perfecto se le conoce como el pasado del pasado. How so? Okay, Luigi, tell me, what was your routine today? What did you do today? ¿Qué hiciste hoy, Luigi? What did you do? How was your day? ¿Cómo estuvo tu día? What did you do today?
Well, in the morning, I start my day with the breakfast and the diet.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Uh,
you're on a diet.
yes, because
Cool.
it says, and then I'm going to my job, and later after 6 p.m. I go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I come back to my house and I start my class of English.
Okay, very good. So what did you do just before your English class? Again?
I was driving to my house.
Okay, good. So, we have two events in the past. Yeah.
Mhm.
You drove home. You drove home. You were driving. Another event in the past is you started uh, your English classes. Yes, so both events are in the past because we started 40 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, right? You started your English classes. Yeah. So, which event happened firstly? You drove home, ibas manejando la casa o empezaste tus clases de inglés. Which event was first?
Uh, when I drove home.
Exactly. So, and when you have an event that happens before another, en este caso, un evento que pasa antes de otro, okay? So, you need to use the past perfect for the oldest event, for the previous event. Necesitas utilizar el pasado perfecto para aquel evento que pasa primero, el más antiguo, ¿ya? So, I'm going to use these two activities together in one sentence. You drove home, you started your English classes. So, I would say, Luigi had driven, right? Remember that we say drive, the simple past is drove, and the past perfect is driven. Luigi had driven home by the time he started his English classes. Are you following up? Are you catching? And here you have the sentence on the chat. Luigi had driven home by the time he started his English classes. Yeah. So I'm using, in one part of the sentence, we have the past perfect, but in the next one, we have the simple past. Okay, so it says if we translate, we usually don't translate, but sometimes it's good to do it just to compare, right? Luigi había manejado a casa, o había ido a casa para la hora o para el momento en el que empezó sus clases de inglés. So, or I could say Luigi had driven home before he started his English classes. Luigi había manejado a casa antes de empezar sus clases de inglés. Yes. So again, I use the past perfect for the oldest activity. When you have two activities in the past, cuando tienes dos eventos en el pasado, pero uno está más hacia el pasado, yes. Entonces ese evento que está más hacia el pasado es pasado perfecto, yes. And what is the auxiliary verb of the past perfect? Is had. Had. Okay, is had. So, had en este caso no estuvo, sino había. ¿Ya? Luigi had, I had, yo había, you have, tú habías, he had, she had, él, ella, había, we had, nosotros sabíamos, they had, ellos sabían. Yes, this is another tense. This is the past perfect tense. Okay? And what is the difference with the past perfect continuous? Well, the past perfect continuous is just to emphasize something. For example, I had been waiting for you for so long, ¿ya? Cuando yo digo, I had been waiting for you for so long, en lugar de decir, I had waited for you, which one sounds more dramatic? Well, the first one sounds more dramatic because it's not the same saying, había estado esperando por ti que había esperado por ti, ¿ya? The first one is the most dramatic, yes? So this is the difference between the simple past, the past continuous, and the past perfect. Now we go back to Kahoot. If you still have Kahoot, let's go to Kahoot, right? Aquí tenemos this. They had been traveling. Había estado manejando por solo unos pocos minutos, cuando la llanta se ponchó la rueda. Okay, good. So go ahead, let's continue. Vegetables and fruits don't taste as delicious as they when a kid. Okay. Vegetables and fruits don't taste as delicious as they used to do when I was a kid. Okay, remember that we use used to talk about past habits, right? And in this case, I don't know if you feel the same. When I was a kid, cuando yo era niño, when I was a kid, I remember colors were more intense, that some flavors also were more intense, that some sounds were louder. But I don't know about now. Maybe it's because I grew older. What about you? What do you think? Do you feel the same thing? ¿Sienten que antes como que la vida era más de más colores, de más sabores, de más sonidos? And do you feel that when you're adult, maybe you don't see many colors as you used to, that maybe these colors are not that intense? Maybe that some food is not that delicious as it used to be. Well, maybe before they use more sugar in products, right? Nowadays they are changing that because they say that it's bad for health. Hoy en día muchas cosas las hacen sin tanta azúcar o sin tanta sal o cosas así, entonces por eso puede ser que sepan diferentes. But how about you? Do you feel any difference when you were a kid? Do you feel any difference? Like, I don't know, about flavors, about colors. Don't you feel something like this? ¿No sienten algo así como que Antes los colores eran más intensos, the food was more delicious. Don't you feel something like this? Or maybe it's just very personal case, no? What do you think? Or what do you think, Paola? Do you feel any difference that when you were a kid?
I think yes.
Yes. For example, do you feel any difference with something special? Or you, Samantha,
Um,
do you feel any difference? I'm sorry, Paola.
I don't know. I don't enjoy doing so many things now.
Okay. Or did you used to have a favorite food that now you don't like? Or did you used, or maybe you didn't used to like something and now you like? For example, when I was a kid, I didn't used to like broccoli. I hated broccoli. And now, well, I don't love broccoli, but I can eat broccoli. How about you? What was, Paula, your favorite, um, I mean, what food you didn't used to like when you were a kid?
I think the mushrooms.
Mushrooms. You didn't used to like mushrooms, and now you like?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, I love mushrooms too. How about you, Samantha? Did you used to like any foods?
Well, nothing has changed so much. So now,
Okay. And how about you, Luigi? Did you used to like any other foods?
What? What's the question? Wait.
Yes. What foods you didn't used to like when you were a kid?
Um,
For example, when
well,
I was a kid, I didn't used to like veggies, like broccoli. And you?
yes, in my case, the same. I think I didn't use not use also uh, I don't know cebolla, uh,
Mm-hmm.
cebolla and
You
beans.
didn't use like onion
Yeah, onions and beans.
and beans. Okay, and now you like them, right?
Yeah, right now I like.
Okay, good. Excellent. When I was a kid, I used to like eggs, but now I hate them. I don't know why. I changed. Okay, let's continue. Okay, there was some ketchup around her mouth because she had been eating spaghetti. Exactly. Ella tenía ketchup a su boca porque había estado comiendo espagueti. And other option is she had eaten spaghetti porque había comido. So you can say she had been, I mean, she had eaten or she had been eating. Other thing that I wanted to tell you, a tip of pronunciation, is that you try to say en vez de decir was, yes, I would like you to try to say was, okay? So you don't pronounce really like was, no? En realidad es más como una Z al terminar. So you say was, okay? Good, let's go. Next sentence. Okay, when the film finished, I set the alarm clock and went to bed. Okay, good. So you see that we're talking about consecutive tenses, so everything here is the simple past. Okay, let's continue. Okay, good. It says Frank moves to this city 5 years ago, but I think this is a mistake, okay? So yes, the sentence is incorrect because the correct is say Frank moved to this city 5 years ago. Yes? Okay, perfect. Let's check the next sentence. Okay, well, in this case, it says Jeanette had asked all her friends for advice before she decided to quit her job. So again, in order to understand this sentence, para que entiendan bien esta oración, I would like to ask you, what happens first? Remember, we have two activities in the past. Janet asked her friends for advice, and then she quit her job. So, which happens first? ¿Cuál pasa primero? Janet asks for advice or Janet quits her job. Primero pide consejo o primero se va del trabajo. Which happens first? What do you think, Samantha? Which happens first?
First she asked advice for her friends.
Exactly. So remember what we said about the past perfect. The past perfect is when I use here had, which is the auxiliary verb, and then a verb in the well, the past, yeah, the past perfect. So we say had asked, había preguntado. Jeanette had asked before she decided. Yes, so because Janet asked for advice happens first, yeah. So we that's why we use this sentence like this. First the past perfect and then the simple past. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Liam for 10 hours, but he's still half of the distance by then. Excellent. So the correct option is the red one. Liam had been driving for 10 hours, but he still hadn't covered half of the distance by then, right? Liam, in this case, you have first the past perfect continuous and then the past perfect. Liam había estado manejando por 10 horas. Remember that we're going to use the past perfect continuous when we want to exaggerate, yes, like a little bit of the time and to see that we were doing something, it was an ongoing action, something that cost me effort. And then he still hadn't covered half the distance, right? So in this case, none of these activities are finished. Do you notice that? Ninguna de esas actividades están terminadas because he was driving and he continued driving, he hadn't finished. So that's why we have past perfect continuous and the simple past. Okay, let's continue. Okay, very good. And although he spent his early childhood in Germany, he doesn't remember anything from that time now. Okay, and so in this case, we use the simple past. Why? Because this is a finished activity. Okay, so we continue. Okay, in this case, we have a passive voice, right? Because I wasn't used. Remember, we checked this yesterday. Yo no estaba acostumbrado. I wasn't used to eating with chopsticks. You know the chopsticks that you use with Chinese food, with sushi? You know the chopsticks? I can show you here maybe. Yeah, these are the chopsticks. Do you use chopsticks, guys? Are you or do you have problems to use them? Some people don't like chopsticks and they just ask for a fork. Okay, I'm not really good with chopsticks, but I can use them. I like to use them. Okay. So the sentence is incorrect, right? Because it's I have. So yes, the sentence is incorrect. The next one. My pen, and I don't remember where I. Okay, very well. So, Paula, could you help me translate this sentence? I have lost my pen and I don't remember where I last used it.
He perdido mi bolígrafo y no recuerdo cuándo fue la última vez que lo usé.
Exactly. But here in this case, even though it doesn't show, the orange option is possible too. Look, I don't know if you've noticed, but in Spanish from Spain, instead of saying comí, en España dicen yo he comido. En vez de decir yo dormí, dicen yo he dormido. Yeah. It's more common for them to use the present perfect. instead of the simple past. And this is the same with British English. In British English, en inglés británico, es común que en vez de que te digan, I lost my pen. I lost my pen es la forma americana. In British English, they would say, I have lost my pen, but it's the same. So, so yeah, in this case, you could say, I lost my pen or I have lost my pen. But the thing that this is British, and personally, I don't like the British English in this sentence because for me, it's like adding extra words. Like everything that adds extra words for nothing for me doesn't make sense. So in this case, that's why I would prefer to use the American like much more. By far, I would prefer the American English in this topic. Okay, the baby was marking the living room floor with the color pens while her mother was mopping. What happens here? In this case, you have simultaneous actions. Yes, so the baby was marking, the baby was painting, and the mom was mopping. Okay, I don't know if you did this as a child, as a child, but I usually was a well-behaved kid. I wouldn't do this. Okay, very well. So when we met again, Steve and I hadn't seen each other for more than 15 years. Excellent. So we have the simple past and the past perfect because one sentence happens before the other one, right? Okay, let's continue. So we have they were evacuating, they had evacuated, or they evacuated. Good, so the correct sentence is they had evacuated the whole building by the time the fire spread. Fire spread, el fuego se esparció a todos los pisos. So which happened first? They had evacuated, fortunately. Ellos habían evacuado. Esto sucedió primero y luego se esparció el fuego. So, again, the activity that happens first, lo que sucede primero en el pasado, vamos a utilizar pasado perfecto, past perfect. And the most recent activity or event is a simple past. Okay. So, I don't know if you have any questions with this topic, guys. It's a little bit complex, but we're going to continue practicing in next classes. Samantha is in second place, but she's gone. In the first place for Paola. Okay, very well, Paola. Congratulations. Okay, guys. So, and right now, I cannot stay longer because I have a commitment. But if we can see each other tomorrow, maybe we can stay a bit longer, okay? To be compensating the class. So, thank you so much. We need to finish now, but hopefully we will see you tomorrow. And thank you so much